Oh, in the top left side, we got a blue Zerg player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He is ARMANI. Bottom right side, we got a red Terran player. Teamless. Still teamless. With all these new Chinese teams coming around, still nobody wants to pick him up for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, he is BYUN. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him after this game, actually. BYUN, why in the world are you teamless? Isn't every single team just lining up, waiting to take you on? What's going on here? Why is this the case? He's going command center first. Is this why? Is this why he's teamless? Did we just get an answer to our question? This doesn't happen usually, guys. I mean, if there was a spawning pool first here, that would have been quite the predicament. Especially because he's not even building a wall at the same time. He's making 2 barracks as well. Okay, okay. Alright, I can see where this is leading. It's actually something a little bit similar as to what I like to do on the ladder sometimes as well. It's a gasless opening. I believe I saw it from... was it Ziggy? I don't know exactly anymore. Anyway, kind of like the second tier European scene where there's a was it? I'm not sure. Let me. No, I'm not sure anymore. But anyway, loves to do these types of marine pushes. Loves to. And the thing with these marine pushes, right, it comes a lot earlier than the Zerg anticipates. Like a lot earlier than the Zerg anticipates. And you can find the Zerg suddenly with his pants down, thinking to himself, wait a moment, isn't this the moment where I'm supposed to just be droning up? And then you're like, yeah, well, normally that would be the case, but look, I have 20 marines right now, and I am here to kill you. And, yeah, things can get rather disgusting. I really like these openings from BYUN. I love that he's doing this type of stuff. You know? Just have multiple openings, multiple builds that you can do in these types of matchups. Wants to get the Overlord, does manage to get it. There we go. Bit of a up and down there with the command center, but manages to shoot it down well enough, well and proper. Zerglings here coming across, looking to see what is what. Of course, that was quite a couple of marines that he saw up against him. Wants to figure out what exactly is the reason why there's so many marines. Surprised we're not getting a quicker Baneling Nest. He's still going to go for the Evo Chamber here. Also a third base, to be fair. Could he be trying to go for a roach push here, perhaps? I don't know. I think a Baneling Nest overall, though, in these types of situations, if you see a Terran getting this amount of marines, there will be a push. There will be a push with those marines. They are going to come across and they will try to hit you up as soon as they have that stim. There's no ifs and all buts about it. Now, he didn't quite see exactly the amount of marines, of course. I mean, he saw like, what, 5? Maybe 6? Somewhere around that ballpark. Maybe even only 4, actually, right? Yeah, it's a rough call to make here for ARMANI. Still no Baneling Nest. Just a Carapace upgrade. Stimpack is done. BYUN, is this the moment? He's going to wait for one more wave of marines, perhaps. Maybe combat shield? Is that what he's waiting for? No, he's going. Oh, he's going, alright. Okay, everything together. Thought for a moment he's going to try to send a couple of marines first, and then let the rest trail behind those first initial couple of marines. So it stays hidden for a little bit longer, exactly what he's doing. But here he goes. Baneling Nest is on the way, so is the layer attack. It's going to take a while before that is all completed, of course. BYUN, he may be able to strike here while the iron is hot, before there's actually any banelings on the field. And I I think that's actually going to be happening here. Zerglings and queens are plenty, though. Not sure if this is going to be the battle that will be going into favor for BYUN, but he doesn't need to do too much, right? He's forcing out a lot of lings. He's being able to kind of trade all right if he wants to. Yeah, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because there's quite a couple of ways to follow this up from. Personally, I love to just immediately add in a lot of Widow Mines with this as well, but curious to see what BYUN is willing to mix in here. He's got a couple of medevacs now, targeting down those banelings. Oh, they're targeting! There's like a little train rolling through the banelings, but then instead of a train, it's just gunfire. Here we go. That's a lot of Marines right now. ARMANI thought he was safe. ARMANI thought it was done. He thought he had enough units. No, sir, you do not. That is nowhere near the amount you need. GG is called. Wow, all the banelings in the... that was just instantly. They died so quickly. What in the world, BYUN? Man. Holy Micro Jackson. Jeez Louise, that was ridiculous. It's like... it's like oh, God. Alright, yeah, sure, that works out that way if that happens. That was on creep as well. That was on creep. Whew. With his medevacs above the banelings also. How does he do it? Jeez, man. Alright, well that is very impressive stuff. Very impressive. Game number 2. Death Aura. Man. BYUN. There were at least 7 banelings. Yeah, there were quite a couple, and it was just like... It's like ridiculous. It felt like he was playing... How's that game called again? Where you have like those orbs coming from above, and then you need to shoot orbs from below that have the same color. And then when you get like a big cluster of like 5 or more or something like that, they all explode instantly. It felt like that, right? Like a chain reaction. The banelings just exploding themselves almost simultaneously. That was... Who knows? Maybe it was a misclick from ARMANI. Maybe he just self-detonated all those banelings, because that's what it looked like anyway. Holy smokes. Bottom right side, the blue Zerg player from Afrika Freaks. He is ARMANI. His opponent, the Micro Jackson. He is the red determined player. He is BYUN. Forgot to ask him, by the way. I was just too hyped about what happened. Oh, jeez. You see that fight and you're like, alright, well, he's gonna target down like 3 banelings, then he's gonna pick up because they get too close, and then, you know, I'll try something else. It's a CC first again. It's a CC first again. Of course it is. Of course it is, BYUN. And this time around on the low ground as well. This man, he is bringing back some MKP vibes. Holy moly. Alright. Spawning pool and extractor on the way for ARMANI at regular time. It's going to be difficult to get the cancel on this. Alright, let's see. Let's see what BYUN is planning to do. He's grabbing 2 refineries here, so it is something else than we saw the previous game. He's not just doing the exact same thing here. There's a little bit of a mix-up. What's up, AK? I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Just chilling with some StarCraft 2 here. The games have been really sick, though, so far, so hoping that it's going to continue onwards with the rest of the day. Alright, still a double barracks here, but I doubt that we're going to see a third. It's going to go for the reactor instead. Alright. Probably a tech lab on this one, I would assume. And get a factory. First an orbital, of course. That takes priority. How does BYUN have so many builds? Sometimes I feel like he just does whatever. It's just like... Of course he doesn't, right? I know that he doesn't. It's just... There's a lot of variations. BYUN always making builds. Yeah, it is. That is one of the funner things why to watch him, right? The funner reasons to keep track of him. See what he's up to. What else he's got in store for us now. If only BYUN didn't have wrist issues, he wouldn't be so consistent. I mean... Yeah. Maybe he just pretends to have wrist issues so that every time when he loses, he's like, oh, well, my wrists, guys, my wrists, they are hurt. Probably not. Probably not, but... I think that would be funny. Alright, starports behind this. It looks like just a regular 2 marine, or 2 medevacs with marines here, I would assume, with the stim. That is what we're gonna be seeing. Could arrive a little bit earlier on. Stim's gonna be a little bit earlier on as well, but... less marines, of course. Never seen this build before. CC first into 2 gas, 2-1-1. Yeah, it is an awkward one, right? But it seems to be working out all right. Definitely some timings here that are going to be hit, and yeah, this is a very clean way of doing this. It seems. Wonder how it works against a 14 pool. Slower than a regular 2-1-1 though. Interesting. Well, he's got a bit more economy behind this now. So it makes sense. Oh, that's a weird one. That's a double weird one. Hope this isn't going to continue onwards, guys. Enki. Enki. His marine count is rather ridiculous. This is true. Alright, here we go. Plenty of units. No Baneling Nest again. BYUN again playing it safe. It's like he wants to have Banelings to snipe. It's like, alright, when are you going to get those Banelings? When's this going to happen? Alright, good trades against the Lynx here. Look at that. Nice bit of stutter step. Picks up. Trading out efficiently again here. Relatively. It's not as efficiently he did the previous time, of course, but still pretty good, pretty good. Follow-up attack coming out as well. Okay, the wall's closed. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle here. Good attempt, though, by ARMANI, of course. Needs to start making a couple of Banelings here. Still doesn't have any of them. He's got Baneling speed on the way, but no Banelings. There we go. 15 of them now entering in those cocoons. Let's see what BYUN will be able to do. There's a big swell of Lynx on the backside as well. BYUN may need to try and collapse on one of these sides. He's going to move backwards here. Alright, Siege Tanks targeting the Banelings for at least one volley there. Getting a couple of them, getting a queen now as well. I just don't see this working out as well as it did the previous game here for BYUN. And it doesn't look like BYUN does either. Perhaps, no, he is still willing to go forwards. Baneling speed is about to hit, so I suppose it's going to get a lot tougher here later on. Alright, no targeting there this time around. Still got everything here to make it a very scary front. Another drop on the top right side. Grabbing his boys back up into the medevac here. Maybe able to get into the main base now. Medevac's not quite going for the run there for the siege tank. BYUN busy with the micro here as well. At the same time. Ooh. Don't expect the banelings to commit there. Okay, and picking up again. Alright, this 5th base though for ARMANI. That's a very quick 5th base, right? ARMANI is just going absolutely ham with the expansions here. I think I'm just enthralled by the micro that's going on everywhere, but I mean, this is a clear advantage for him, right? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. BYUN, he's just made his 3rd. That is just completed and still needs to fly over somewhere. Now, the worker count for ARMANI, though, is not really there. So even though he has all these bases, it's difficult for him to make full use out of it. Although he can use it as kind of macro hatcheries, right? So he doesn't have to be as busy with injecting, which means he has more time to micro his units and try to deal with the harassment for BYUN. But at the same time, he opens up more fronts for BYUN to attack, right? So at the same time, it becomes more difficult for him to have his units in the correct position. Okay, here we go. Banelings actually getting pretty good connections. Not quite enough of them, though. Yeah, BYUN, did he do enough? Yeah, it's hard to say. The worker count for ARMANI now starting to skyrocket here. Getting up to 80. I think he can quite comfortably get himself to 90 drones here if he really wants to. Another medevac does fall. Let's get a queen for his troubles, though, but still. Okay, manages to get a base on the top right side. It's nice. Finally, a victory there for BYUN. His 3rd base, though, is that actually open for abuse here? Quite a couple of Zerglings, but there's a good swat of Marines as well. Ready to take him on. Push them backwards. Alright, Banelings apparently being morphed here. Getting spotted by the Liberator. Should give a bit of a heads up here. The units on the left side as well. A drop on the right. A Liberator just above it. And an attack on the left. Oh, that looks like it hurts. Mutalisk. Didn't manage to intercept the medevac in time, but still. Alright, bit of damage. The Banelings here didn't get too many SCVs just quite yet, but those SCVs here getting slain by the Zerglings quite heavily. Actually, definitely taking quite a bit of significant damage. And now ARMANI coming in from the bottom as well. He is ahead with 60 supply here, guys. It is not looking all that great for BYUN, who just got out-greeted this time around, perhaps, it seems. Oh, that Widowmine could be big. It definitely is. Perhaps giving a second chance here for BYUN, but it's going to be rough regardless. It's quite far behind on the economics. Even if he does win this somehow, some way, he's going to lose more SCVs. And he's going to just be in more trouble overall. Yeah, GG is called. Not a real shot to make that work anymore. Alright, so, yeah. That means that BYUN loses the 2nd game. So, CC first build, not helping him out that time around. Going for the aggressive play. I mean, it seems like ARMANI just a bit more prepared for it this time around, I want to say. Not sure if it is about preparedness or just kind of more so anticipating it this time around. But, yeah. Anyway. Well played there. Also, I really like the aggressiveness of how many bases ARMANI was taken, right? It felt like a bit of a gamble at the same time, but it did allow him to just continuously have so many links available just continuously. And, yeah, allowed him to focus on creep spread, allowed him to focus on just kind of microing, splitting up his units correctly. Important stuff to do. Nothing is a meme build when it comes to BYUN. Although sometimes, you know, you do wonder. You do wonder. But yeah. It was an interesting one. I have not seen it before myself yet either. But definitely taking some inspiration from other stuff, right? That has already been incorporated before in the Pro StarCraft 2 scene. The two medevacs with the Sim and Marines. It's, you know... It has been done before, but this time around, BYUN kind of giving it a bit of his own flavor. This time around, not working out the way he had intended. All right, game number 3. Game number 3. We're in a 1-to-1 situation. In the bottom left side, we got the Afrika Freaks Zerg. In the blue, he is ARMANI. His opponent in the red, he is the Terran, he is the Wildman, the one-man army, the Korean pocket knife, BYUN. Alright, a barracks this time around. Barracks with the gas. BYUN going a bit more of the standard route this time around, it seems. But there is a spawning pool, so you know what? Perfect timing to do so, it turns out. Not gonna get himself into too much trouble here. So it works out for our Terran for the time being. Now going for that command center, of course. Could still be in a little bit of trouble. There is gas being mined as well with this. Bit late though, so I'm not sure if that is going to be for Zergling speed to assist these Zerglings. Probably a bit too late for that. But it could be for a follow-up, right? Yeah, it could be. We'll have to wait and see. Still drones mainly on that production tab. Gotta catch up to the fact that he did just make 6 links here, of course. BYUN, well known for being a bit greedy though, sometimes. Does not go for the Reaper all too often. Wow, that's a rough one. Instantaneously just cancels the command center on the low ground. It's just like, alright, never mind. That's not gonna work. Bring it home. Bring it into the other side. There we go. Looking to get the get underneath the barracks so when it transfers with the factory. That is already as much as you would like to get with the Zerglings here, right? Just that cancel on the command center. It was already over halfway done producing, and then to lose it, that is quite the blow. That is quite the blow indeed. So yeah, the Zerglings quite happy with themselves. We'll be moving back home again. Nice big bowl of yummies waiting for them at home for the good boys that they have been for the Zerg race here. BYUN going for a third base, perhaps? Would assume so. Looking at this mineral count. No, actually. Letting it drop again. Still no second guess. Okay, yeah, there it is. There is that third base. We'll be able to shut out the observing overlords there. Not going to get an easy scout on that third base. Third base for ARMANI still nowhere to be seen, though. Going for the quick lay attack here, it would appear, with 4 gases assembled as well. Gonna go into those quick Mutalisk here, most likely. Unless if he's gonna feel experimental here as well. Which I assume will not be the case. Yeah, there it is. There's the Spire. Okay. Okay, so where will they be taking this? The Hellions, this is kind of the period of time, right, where it's just about the Hellions, really. The Hellion and the Queen control. Bit of Viking, I suppose, as well, right? Trying to find Overlord, stuff like this. But really, the main thing you're doing right now as BYUN is trying to deny creep. The main thing you're doing with ARMANI is trying to deny the Hellions from denying creep, so... I'm a bit surprised he doesn't have his Overlords a little bit further forwards, like right about over here. I suppose that is to do with the Viking, perhaps, as well. Viking making life difficult for the Overlords. Oh, Viking! Well, that's gone now, I suppose. No drones left behind. Circling there, not getting the scout it was looking for. Hellions, yeah, still maintaining the front line, but the Queen's doing a good job at holding this backwards. Those Mutalisks are about to be ready, though, of course. And with BYUN moving out on the map here with most of his Marines, I wonder how that is going to be turning out. No missile turrets just quite yet. You would have to assume that BYUN is aware that there just doesn't seem to be that many drones there. Third base was late. I'm not sure if he did or did not see this, but, well, at least he is certain to see these Mutalisk now. No way he's missing those, unless, well, he needs new glasses. That could be the case. Already has glasses, though, so I would assume that they're good. Otherwise, there's no reason in wearing them. Yep. Right, Mutalisk coming together. Oh, with the Medevac stand now, making it a bit more difficult. Thought he was going to try and bait out another stim, fly away. Yeah, less important now with the Medevacs available, of course, as well. Here we go, Marines on top of the creep. Bailing speed still a little bit off right now. But BYUN, yeah, not really ready to take a fight right then and there. So he's going to move back, grab hold of the reinforcements and try something else some other time. BYUN's really good at just kind of deciding, alright, I'm not going to attack. I'm not doing it. I'm moving back in time. You're not going to be able to punish me for moving back right now. And yeah, with the reinforcements here, definitely doing quite a bit more. Units maintaining kind of for the Terran here. Not allowing them to be picked off. A very important thing for the Terran. Unit retention. Unit retention. Units retaining. Is that the word? What's the word there? There's a word in there somewhere. Okay, well, the mine's in a pretty good spot over here. Group's gonna be denied again. Bit of a run by of Banelings there, waiting the other side. Oh, okay, does manage to pull away in time. Careful. Only 4 so far. Could still be more. 11 with the final 3 Banelings rolling in. Pretty good, pretty good. The offensive for BYUN, not finding as many worker kills, that's for sure. Well, then again, if this army here tends to find worker kills, things are going to go very quickly sideways for the Zerg. Doing a good job so far. I mean, being able to force the Mutalisk into a straight-up head-to-head fight is always a good thing for the Terrans here. Got to be careful just not to overextend the Banelings. Okay, yeah, getting a little bit of a detonation there. Widow Mines repositioning a little bit further forward. More of them coming in continuously. Another run by here, actually, onto the SCV line. There we go. Nice pull. Those Zerglings together. Not getting shot by his own Widow Mine there. Very important tiny bit of micro from Terran players. Oh, friendly fire! Another Widow Mine. That's a good one. That definitely got rid of a lot of those banelings. BYUN immediately realizing, alright, need to keep this pressure going. He is trading rather nicely here. Look at those units lost count with the gas in particular. Looking pretty good for him so far. He managed to get rid of all the creep here, mostly at least. Still creep from the hatchery, but that is really just minimal. Widow Mine's not finding the hits right there. Too quick on the cleanup for... there we go. A little bit of friendly fire there as well, but luckily for BYUN, his units were not low enough to be one-shot by that Widow Mine. Back into the ground they go. It's just an enormous back and forth battle here. BYUN looking to just out-control his opponent right here. Out-trade and out-micro. What more can we ask from Micro Jackson, of course? That's a really good Widow Mine as well. Bit of the minimal that Armani wanted to spend to try and get those Widow Mines to set off, of course, but only getting one of them, unfortunately, for like 3 banelings. And a couple of Zerglings as well, I do believe. Alright, Armani's had enough of the straight-up fight. I think he knows that it's not a fight that's gonna win in the long term. So we'll be going for the counter-attack here. A lot of Mutalisk, but the repair is pretty good. SCVs do tend to go down, though, by those Zerglings and the Mutalisk at this moment in time. More Widow Mines trying to burrow inside of the middle part of all these bases, I suppose. So a lot of banelings. Widow Mine here, not going to be able to get set off. Mutalisk once again rotating back around. They did manage to get a kill on the 3rd base here, but another base will be getting killed as well. But this one is of Zerg origin. There's quite a few banelings still remaining here. Widow Mine, please. Shooting one single Zergling. Always a rough one. BYUN gonna move his main base over to the 3rd. That's how long this has been going, guys. That's how long BYUN has been fighting in this place in particular. But he did get rid of that hatchery right here. This other hatchery also relatively low. BYUN not giving up just quite yet. Will continue onwards with the trading here. Thoroughly impressive. Trying to get a bit of a pre-split going. He has drilling claws as well right now, so makes it a lot easier to get those banelings in a prime position. So, many banelings still again being made here. Every last penny that Armani has seemingly going to banelings. Is it enough? Is it going to be working out for him here? I don't think so. It's still a lot of Marines remain. But more banelings again here. Just one good baneling hit. That could be the end of it. Is this it? Ooh, Widow Mine's there. Still being able to get something going. That's a lot of banelings. Gotta be careful. BYUN. Split. Run around. Marauder at the front. Marauder at the helm. He's doing it. Okay, once again surviving those banelings right here. Zerglings and Mutalisk managed to avoid the Widow Mine, but the banelings, unfortunately for them, they were a bit too slow, and GG is called. BYUN. Ooh, that got close. That got so close. Those banelings. Man, just barely not getting on top of those Marines right there in the end. That was rough. And that is... this is the story of BYUN. He was on the side of Armani's... on the map side of Armani continuously, endlessly, just throughout the game. He was there, chilling, getting Widow Mines, Marines, everything across. His macro can fall apart a little bit here and there, but as long as he keeps making units, he doesn't care about how many bases he has, it seems, because he just trades so efficiently that it doesn't matter. It just does not seem to matter. Well played. Well played there, for sure. That was an insane push. It really was. It really definitely was. Alright. Armani. BYUN. Seems like there's a bit of a discussion going on. 1 minute. Ah, okay. Inu asked for 1 minute. That is fair. That is fair. Alright. I have no idea what they're talking about. Trying to kind of read it, but it's all over my head. It's Korean. Looks like, I think they're talking about the way the map order is. Something like that. Looks like. Not entirely sure. Maybe lag issues, latency. I don't think so. Usually they do other stuff then. Anyway, alright. Continuing onwards with game number 4. BYUN on match points. Armani. Not so on match points. We'll need to get things rolling into his favor here 2 times now. And, well, BYUN seemingly not allowing anything to roll anywhere near him. Oh, well, pretty darn near him, but never on top of him where it needs to go for Armani. So, here we go. In the bottom left side, the blue Zerg. Fighting for the Afrika Freaks, he is Armani. In the top right side, we got a red Terran player fighting for only himself. He is BYUN. Imagine if he goes back into the CC first now. Imagine that. Alright, no, it's the barracks. Armani not trying to punish it in this this round either, so it would have been funny, right? It would have been funny. It's like he's psychic. Actually just knows what his opponent is doing. Screen cheating. Sitting right next to him, apparently. But, yeah. Of course, BYUN not really somebody that would require to screen cheat, I feel like. So, it's up in the air now. What is BYUN planning to do? Where does he want to take this? Factory. Very standard stuff here. About as standard as we've had BYUN do so far. Always a bit of a shame, right? When BYUN decides to do the regular stuff. I mean, he's still really good at it, but... still like, oh man, I wanted to learn more about your crazy stuff. About the ridiculousness. Overlord's in a solid position to get the scout off here. Only a single marine available for BYUN. BYUN coming to check out this location right now. We'll be able to see this this Overlord. Overlord quickly dodges back into the shadows. Oh, still is a little bit visible here. Look at that on the minimap, just like dunk, bing. It's like sonar right now. All right. Hellions and a third CC. Alright, BYUN going for it once again. Going wild. Well, I say wild. It's pretty standard, right? It's not the quickest of third CCs we've seen. Surprisingly enough. Still a relatively quick one, but it's still relatively safe as well. ARMANI also going for the quick 3 hatcheries here. Hatcheries. And then instead of the quick Mutalisk play, which was seemingly the way that he wanted to take this the previous couple of times. Overlord repositioning himself in a fairly good position. May be able to get the scout off this way. Really definitely wants to get that scout off here. Although, you know what? He's just thrown down a Ro4. Hold up. Hold the phone. He's going to go for it himself instead. Probably wants to keep that Overlord alive then in order to facilitate high ground vision for the Ravager Biles and such. Or just road shots. Definitely very much worth it. Okay, BYUN, are you going to be able to figure this out? When are you going to figure this out? I mean, so far he saw there's a third base. He didn't see any drones there, I suppose, but now there are drones here. He needs to see these roaches. That is just the way to do it. He needs to see the roaches. The roaches are going to be able to prevent being spotted, though, by the Hellions. Simply because, well, I guess there's a lot of links now here as well. They get 2 Hellions right there. It's already good value. I mean, the Hellions may not seem like much, but they are a crucial part of holding this. Every single unit, actually, for BYUN, of course, incredibly important. And BYUN only now seeing the roaches. BYUN, oh, that is such a late reaction for any type of bunker, actually. Kind of panicking here, perhaps a little bit. Not quite sure what he is supposed to be doing. Waiting for the last moment, I think, to evacuate the natural base. There we go, trying to get as much money as possible. Okay, the Biles not landing on top of the SCVs. The SCVs now on the high ground right here. BYUN knows. He knows he's in a bit of trouble. Needs every man. Oh, those Biles! Those Biles are massive! BYUN never going to be able to reclaim the low ground this way. 16 SCVs go down. He does have that third CC to try and replenish, but first he needs to hold. And holding here is going to be incredibly difficult. Oh, it's going to be so difficult. He's going to be supply blocked as well. Luckily for him, he still has a siege tank on the way, so that's going to help out, but still incredibly difficult here right now. A lot of his production not quite doing anything anymore. The Biles once again making life incredibly difficult here for BYUN. BYUN comes forward. The siege tank not quite here yet, and there it is. GG, just like that. BYUN entirely blindsided, not going to be able to hold on there. Alright, that's one of the first times I've actually seen these types of punishment pushes working against BYUN. So very well done there by ARMANI. It was completely unscouted, to be fair. At least we get a game 5. That's right. That's right. At least we get more bang for our buck, right? Talking about bang for buck. Alright, that came out wrong. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the Maturino, alright? I wanted to talk about the stuff that we give the players here to give them a bit of extra money, a bit of extra dough to work with. Guys, please do check out that Maturino. There's a link in the chat right now. It is posted there just at this moment in time. Click the link, go to the website, grab that code as well, of course. Copy that code. Sign in. You don't even need to make an account. You can use Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Battle.net, Discord, Microsoft. Anything you're logged into already with the browser that you went to the website with, right? So very easily you sign up with an account that is already pretty much logged in on that browser. You press contribute, put in that code, and voila, AX228, and contribute. Easy as that. Alright? Alright. Alright, I just did it myself as well. No excuses, guys. No excuses. They deserve a bit of extra money, right? That's right. They deserve every single penny we can give them. Especially if it's not our pennies. Those are the most valuable pennies. Alright. Top right side, the Afrika Freaks Blue Zerg. He is ARMANI. Bottom left side, the red Terran player fighting for nobody but himself. The Wildman. The one-man army. Oh. Ho, 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 ho. It's BYUN. Alright, Reaper Massacre. Is he actually going to do this? Are we going to see it? The Reaper control from BYUN. It may actually be coming into play here. 3 barracks. Alright, we have unleashed the Kraken. BYUN looking to go full out with the Reapers here. This is the reason. This man is the reason why the Reaper got nerfed in the first place. And here he is. Coming back from military service. Being like, you know what? Let me do it again. Let me do it one more time here. Game number 5. Who cares? Who cares that it's game number 5? Look at this. Getting scouted. Yeah. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. What are you going to do? Well, he's going to make a Roach Warren, actually. That's a good call. That should buy him a little bit of safety here. I wonder if we're going to see the +1 attack as well being added in here by BYUN. It's what we see Euthermal do sometimes with the Reaper. Okay, so far, nice control here by this first initial Reaper. Really softening up a lot of those Lings. Not getting any kills, though. That is a problem, perhaps. Needs to get the Reapers together, kind of heal up again. Wait for 3 Reapers, and then you can start to really bud and poke the other units. Those Roaches, they are on the way, though, already. And the Roaches, very, very difficult for Reapers to deal with. Now, the drone count here for ARMANI, not really anywhere either, to be fair, but... I mean, BYUN's still on the single base. There we go. Now the Roaches are available. Like, you should probably transition right now, right? I don't see how you're supposed to still make this work. Even making a Ravager, that's interesting. Curious. Reapers tangoing with the Roaches and the Ravagers here. Overlord did get sniped. Just as a side note. Not a massive supply block here for ARMANI though. Actually no supply block, surprisingly enough. It's close. Well, a little bit there, right? For a couple of seconds. Nothing too crucial. ARMANI's just happily droning up right now. This is pretty much the end for the Reapers. As BYUN is going for a triple command center build straight afterwards. Adds in what most likely will be Banshee. And I suppose you're going to get some... yeah, Banshee's a good call here, right? Banshee helping out against those Roaches and Ravagers as well. The Reaper's actually getting a bit feisty, trying to jump on top of those Ravagers. There we go, third base now for ARMANI being constructed also. Units lost tab. Kind of a bit of a back and forth here. Resources gathered. Also going back and forth. I mean, BYUN not quite as explosive at the worker count, of course, as ARMANI, just because of the way Zerg functions as a race. We'll be able to get that established a bit quicker. And we have Marines, a lot of Marines on the way, and those Banshees. This could be quite something. He's not going to go for Hellions here. Will be Siege Tanks instead. So Siege Tank Marine Banshee. That could still be quite a nasty push coming up. If he does keep those Banshees alive as well. Swan Banshee already is on the other side of the map. Feel like he's going to wait for a second one though, to be fair. Is he? No, he's not. Never mind. He's bored. He needs to do something here. Alright. There we are. Jumping on the opportunity to get a couple of kills here. No Spore Crawlers available, of course. ARMANI. He does have a layer, but no Overseer either. Looks like ARMANI is just building a lot of roaches right now, getting himself the roach upgrades, even burrow, but he's losing a lot of workers here. Oh my. Oh my, he's rebuilding workers, so I'm not sure. He's not going for a massive counterattack, but he may be able to stop this third base from mining for a little bit here. The Reaper's now coming in as well, suddenly striking absolute terror in the hearts of these little drones here. They are going down rather quickly. They really are. Oh my, 22 so far with a single Banshee and those Reapers right there. Where's that Banshee? I think the Banshee may have been killed off. Yeah, all right. It did get destroyed, but man, 22 workers there still being found by BYUN. That is thoroughly impressive. This is why it pays off for a Terran to be so conservative with their units, right? I mean, it becomes quite a hassle to kind of juggle all those bits and pieces of your army and still be able to do all the harassment, reinforcing, and this type of stuff. But BYUN, like, consistently so good with just finding those opportunities with units that normally would have been sacrificed a long time ago because they're not supposed to get any damage dealt anymore. But BYUN keeps them alive, keeps them around, and then suddenly manages to still get a ton of value with them, just like we saw just there at a later stage in the game. Now we'll be looking for more aggression here with the Marines. Banshee on the right side, kind of getting pummeled for the time being. Alright, BYUN unleashing the next step, of course, going for quite a bit of harassment here with the Marines. Medevacs starting to clean up those overlords. ARMANI never quite managed to reclaim his work account here, right? So still on 63, he's only now making a 4th base. As BYUN is doing the same thing, actually, at this moment in time, which is really weird considering how this game opens up, right? BYUN going for those Reapers, immediately getting scouted and kind of being stopped dead in his tracks. For him to then suddenly kind of turn it around here on a dime, it feels a bit peculiar and unordinary, right? But here he is making it work, getting whatever he can at any turn that he makes. A couple of Mutalisk here, should be able to get a couple of those SCVs. There's a good cluster of Marines here though, ready to assist. There they go. With that +1/+1. Getting near the +2/+2. Immediate construction of the missile turrets here, of course, taking place. A bit too soon with walking away with those Marines, perhaps. Busy with the micro elsewhere, it looks like. Losing more of those SCVs. And again here, losing another one. Things are starting to wrap up here. 10 workers in total getting slain by those Mutalisks. Now, a couple of Mutalisks did pay the price as well. 3 of them in total. But still, this is allowing ARMANI to reclaim the economic advantage here. BYUN aiming for the attack here. Offensive. That's a very scary force of units here, especially considering that most of ARMANI's force is just consisting out of roaches and ravagers. Okay, the Biles. The Biles actually massive at the moment. Getting a ton of Marines right there, all stacked on top of one another. Not sure if BYUN realized what was happening there. He needs to be careful. Bios on top of these siege tanks, of course, quite useful. Gotta be careful with this bio as well, not to be standing into the orange dots. Banshee on top of this as well. This is still a bit too much to handle for Armani, though. Doesn't have any banelings, doesn't have any baneling speed, just has roaches and ravages, and they do not carry on all that well as soon as we arrive in this stage of the game where both players are maxed out. Both players have a considerable amount of army supply. Look at that, the siege tank still definitely providing a nice bit of cover here, but the Marines, they are the true problem for these roaches and ravages. Just not a real solution to this problem right now. Alright, again, the siege tank's getting a very, very good bit of value here. Alright, BYUN moving on forwards. Again, trying to find that opportunity. Already having killed that one base here, but Armani behind with such an enormous amount. I really do think the one solution here, perhaps for Armani, would be the Vipers, and then, of course, Hydras and Lurkers as well. A very cost-efficient way to try and reclaim some position in this game, but right now, he is definitely struggling. He is hurting, and it's not a clear way, other than those Lurkers and Vipers, to get himself to safety here. And time is ticking, of course. Those Marines getting closer and closer. If they just stim forward right on top of all those roaches, things could go quite badly, quite quickly. They do want to make that trade happen, of course. Actually, not quite being able to do it, but on the right side. But on the right side. Meanwhile, there is another base that goes down. Lurkers finally in the production tab, but there's only one of them. That's a great blinding clouds. Some good biles there, so we'll clean this up. But meanwhile, BYUN takes out another base here. Fairly certain that this is going to be it, guys. There's not much that Armani can do from a position like this. Unfortunately for him, just not quite being able to get himself to those Lurkers there in time. GG is called. Armani taps out. BYUN takes game number 5. Will be moving onwards to the best of 7 together with his opponents. Dream.